The birthplace of General Motors, Flint, Michigan is now a symbol of industrial decline, with high poverty and crime rates. And now, a new danger. It's water.
Inside the water, we got lead in our guns. These politicians poisoning our sons and daughters for fun. Washing my face and hands with nothing but bottled water and wipes. To save a buck, Snyder's administration ruined the pipes. And now we're fighting for our lives and asking who can we trust. Problems about us, these politicians, they ain't trying to discuss. And then they wonder why we rarely vote, I'm keeping it real. If you're not from Flint, then you could never understand how we feel. Rachel Maddow broke the story, now it's worldwide news. I wish the governor could walk a couple blocks in my shoes, so he could witness all this poverty and crime that exists, and all this hatred and racism we've been fighting against. City of lead.
The Lord now, I haven't He saved me. There's lead in the water, affecting the babies, and I don't know why they lie when they tell me that Black Lives Matter when the system is failing. I wish I could go back and find a solution, because no one should ever have to be treated unhuman. I wish I could go back and find a solution, because no one should ever have to be treated unhuman.
But it was far from fine. The children's blood tests revealed high exposure to lead. So how did Flint's water supply become contaminated? To save money,
Barack Obama drank the water trying to put us at ease, while our people were still dying from Legionnaire's disease. And not one pipe has been replaced and not one hole has been dug, because they trying to sweep the water crisis under the rug. And thanks to Dr. Mona Hanna for exposing the biz on how contaminated water been affecting our kids. And only God can judge Rick Snyder for this urban disaster. They ought to treat them the same way they treated Kwame Kilpatrick. Plus when I think about the kids, it brings a tear to my eye. The EPA just stood by and left us out here to die. Only celebrities keep coming claiming that they support us, but we need money in Flint and not just some cases of water. City of lead.
Residents have been subjected to drinking water with elevated levels of lead. Complaints to authorities fell on deaf ears. In addition to the presidential meeting today, 2 class action lawsuits are being filed today, blaming high-level government officials for the toxic water. On the list of people being sued, Michigan Governor Rick Snyder, a Republican, who acknowledged in an interview that the Flint water crisis is his Hurricane Katrina.
God save our city.
Hey y'all, my name is Brandon Richardson and I'm the founder of Headwaters Defense. We are a community-led organization based out of Fayette County, West Virginia. Our mission is to support community self-defense against pollution and to reclaim basic human rights to air, water, land, and health through self-governance and community needs advocacy. There's a lot of history, recent history, that is very important and that you can check into about our organization and our communities and some of the work we have done to reclaim our health and to survive. In addition, we are about abolishing sacrifice zones because we have seen and we know firsthand what it means to live in a sacrifice zone and to watch your community be sacrificed by extreme pollution. So I know a lot of you have been in the fight and noticed that it's hard to feel like you're getting anywhere and that you're winning. But I want to just share a little bit on how we look at winning, and it first includes what it takes to make a sacrifice zone. So through our efforts, we have banned 1 out of 3 injection wells in our area and banned fracking waste in Fayette County until the ruling class's court systems destroyed our ban, sadly. What we did learn is the list of ingredients that it takes to make a sacrifice zone, and it's really quite simple. A polluting corporation or other institution, they contaminate communities while simultaneously removing the power from our communities, and taking away our ability to make the decisions on the quality of health we want for our community and the social atmosphere of our community. So that looks like power being in all the wrong places. So for us, we've identified some of the people that have the power and some of the institutions that have the power, and that includes our state and federal agencies, that includes our polluting corporations, the legal system and court system, it includes the academia, and it even includes corporate style environmental organizations. So get pumped, because this is what I think all of us here have won at some point. Because we believe that any time that a poisoned community, a contaminated community, takes the power from those institutions and organizations and individuals that allow extreme pollution or make extreme pollution in our communities, anytime we take power from them and put it in the hands of people living in sacrifice zones, we win. We will abolish sacrifice zones if the power is in the hands of frontlines communities living on the front lines of extreme pollution. So my message to all y'all is to keep up the fight and really stick together. Look at your neighbor and acknowledge them as your hero, and we will continue and we will win. Any amount of time, remember, any amount of time that the power goes from the people who allow pollution to communities, we win. Follow us on Facebook, Headwaters Defense Group, Faces of Minden Group, and shout out to all of our communities that are dealing with fossil fuel contamination and all of our Superfund communities out there. Bless y'all and have a good rest of your day.
This is what we do here at Fayetteville. We order water from the water store. Local business gives us a good price, and I pick it up, or other members of PTO, parents, staff, and we load it up and then bring it into the school here, and then store it in this room, and the kids go about through 10 gallons a day. So this will do me for next week. Right up. And that's how we ensure that kids around here have safe water to drink.
My name's Branson England. I'm a resident and a kid from Minden. And today I started a game, or about a long time ago I started a game. And I made this game, and it shows how Minden and like Oak Hill, Charleston, places like Huntington and places like that are different from Minden and not contaminated. So, here we go. Alright. Now, right here, as you all can see, there are like a lot of, stuff, like expensive stuff. It's really like brightful. It's like really cool and everything. And so, as you just like make your way over. Oh yeah, and here's another thing I want to point out. Here's our governor's office right here, smack down in the middle of it. He has all the nice stuff, right? Alright, so, here's all this nice stuff, big stuff, expensive stuff, okay? And as we make our way over here, we get, as it's dark, as it's nighttime, but it's not nighttime right now. But we're going to enter Minden. So, let's go ahead and go in. Okay, now, we're going to start on this side. And as you can see, there are a lot of coffins where us people that live today and the people that will be well remembered that died of some kind of disease caused by this horrible chemical. And right here we got the cities that are dumping their sewer into our creeks, and this pipeline I want to put in that's going directly through our creeks that are contaminated, our creek that is contaminated. These barrels, which represents contamination inside of them. More coffins and stuff like that, barrels. Over here we have like a, kind of like represents kind of like Schaefer's, not really, but kind of like a mine equipment stuff. And over here we do have Schaefer's. Okay, and right here is the stuff right here that is.
Hi, my name is Deanna Miller-Berry, and I'm a citizen of Denmark, South Carolina. Home of the dogwood trees and some of the most amazing people you'd ever want to meet. However, there is a big issue that's going on. We've been asked by the People Tribune to share a short 2 to 3 minute video on what we are experiencing here in Denmark. In Denmark, South Carolina, we have a mayor who is refusing to allow us to have Dr. Mark Edwards come and sample and test our wells. Dr. Edwards has been working with us for the last year and have found contaminations in our water, such as high levels of iron, high levels of lead in some homes on some parts of the city, as high as 300 parts per billion. And the EPA isn't listening to us because they will allow 10% of homes to have a certain number of these contaminants in their water. High levels of magnesium, E. coli, all of that is in our water. We found illegal dumping sites where they're dumping raw sewage illegally into a river, Little Sakahatchee River, and it's a big, huge concern and a big, huge problem. And we have an out-of-touch politician who is running our city who is more concerned about protecting DHEC than he is about his own citizens. And we are standing up for our rights. We're standing up for what we believe in, and we will not back down. We have citizens who travel 7 to 10 miles to go and haul water as if we were in Africa, like literally, with jugs of water in their cars to an area we call Healing Springs to bring back to eat. Over 80% of the citizens in our city do not drink the water. They will either go to Healing Springs to get their water. For those who cannot afford to go to Healing Springs, they go buy their bottled water. And unfortunately for that huge group of people who can't even afford to do either of the two, who are reduced to drinking this water and constantly getting sick. Our children are getting sick. We just learned that DHEC is not required or mandated to test the lead levels at our schools, which is very alarming to us, and we need to do something about that. Former President Barack Obama said, community organizing is how ordinary people respond to out-of-touch politicians and their failed policies. And that's what we're doing. We are speaking up. We are rising up because our local mayor and city council have a 65% tax rate on our water. So with that being said, we're paying 65% more on our water that we can't even drink or use. People are getting sick. People are dying. People have skin issues, rash issues. We're just not going to stop until we get a resolve to this issue. Test Our Wells by Dr. Mark Edwards and his Virginia Tech team, and share our stories as much as we can so people can be aware of what's going on in small rural towns. I'm not sure what's happening in major big cities outside of Flint, but we need to stand up as citizens and do something about it. We cannot just sit back and let them continue to do this to us. Thank you for the opportunity, and if you require any additional information, you can reach me on Facebook under my name, Deanna Miller Berry. Thank you.
Just, it don't kill you right off the bat. I mean, it might take, it's like Agent Orange. It could take a year, it could take 20 years.
All of that site up there, from one side where the bank's at from the road to the other side of that mountain, PCBs is up there. After Schaefer Equipment shut down, they were supposed to ship it to Georgia or Louisiana or somewhere to the hazard material waste site. They refused it. They didn't want it down there. They brought it back here, and wherever they could bury or dispose of it, that's what they did. We didn't know about it. The guys that worked there and people worked there didn't know about it until about 2 or 3 years after they shut down, and they come up here and started testing and everything, and they found PCBs in the soil all around the places. We had 55-gallon drums of it stored up there in buildings. And when they shut down, we just dumped it out. I mean, they even used it on the roads down here to keep dust down. Some of the old transformers was buried in the old mine shaft, and they're still buried. I worked for him. I didn't know it. I was told to do it, and that's what I done.
All of us kids went around there and played on that out there all the time. We played on them transformers and those coal cars back in the mines. That's where I learned to ride my bicycle. And every kid I think down in there pretty much played out on that out there. And I had a sister 34 passed away from cancer in 72. And I've had a sister that passed away in 98 from cancer. My oldest brother drove transformers around there and unloaded them. He passed away in 2001 from cancer.
Minden was the 7th largest cleanup in Superfund history, but say there's no evidence that
the EPA came in like 1980 or 82, somewhere along there, and started cleaning up. They've been in, I think, 3 or 4 times since the mid-80s. Each time when they left, they'd say, well, the site's clean, and each time the citizens kept complaining that the site's not clean. They came back and found more contamination, and here we are again, going through the same thing.
If we don't get no justice, then you don't get no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. If we don't get no justice, then you don't get no peace.
I've been here for 60 years, and we try to fight it since the day we found out it was there. And nobody would never listen to us. They always said there wasn't nothing there, and they just blow us off. They wouldn't listen to nobody. And still today, everybody thinks it's a joke, and it's not a joke. But you could see across the water like a rainbow, and that's PCBs in it. You could see it in the water. Because PCBs, when it hits water, it multiplies. It's like when you drop a gas there or oil, it just scatters. It just goes more further and further.
They can't just pick these houses up and sweep out from under them and set them back down. They got to get these people out of here. In efforts to clean this place up so you have a better environment for the people and the economy and the river.
She wanted to go, but now
she will pull plumb out of her collar and run straight back to the gate. I've had to pick her up.
I can't explain the deep ache in my heart that we have him here. The site is only a quarter of a mile away. And when it rains, that comes downhill and gets washed right through our yard. So we don't really let him outside to play very much. We keep him in the house, or we go into town to play at the park.
Relocation is our ultimate goal. I always said I didn't want to raise my son here. I didn't want to raise a family here, and because I never trusted that it was cleaned up. And now the test results have proven that it's not cleaned up.
There's there's about 7 houses right in a row. Every one of them died of cancer, right along that creek. And you don't get that many cases of cancer in the area unless something's causing it. I don't know what happened to the government. The government don't care and serve the people the way they should. If you don't like it, move out. That's what they're telling us. And that's what they're wanting us to do. They just want us to move out and give our property up. You can't sell nothing down here because of publicity, because of the PCBs. You can't sell your property. Nobody wants to buy it. And most of the people down here just barely do make a living, so they can't afford to just give up, move out, and buy another house. They just can't do it.
This is Sunday. I'm down here at Anita Scarborough's house. EPA told her that it was safe, that she had no problem about PCBs. And I came out here this morning, and the water's down a good bit, and I just want to get an update of what's happening. You can see now this is her yard. The EPA said there's low level now, there's nothing to worry about. Look at that. You can see where it's frozen now, it's thawed out. Look at that nasty stuff. I mean, when are these people going to stop lying to us? I mean, look at the dirt. See, that's coal. That is black. That is coal. You can see the coal in it. That's been washed down from Schaefer's up there at the slate dump. This is just sad, absolutely sad. Right there's her front porch there. She don't have any steps, but look, just right off, just probably 6-7 feet from her front porch. Look at that. I bet they wouldn't come down here and live in this. No sirree. They'd rather sleep under a bridge and sleep in there and stay in there. We don't have a choice. You see, before I cut it off, the water, the grass stuff kind of high down here. I want to see if we get any shots down in here next to this culvert. You see, this is layered. See all nasty down in there. It's all down in there. See it all the way down. See there. I mean, it is thick. Look at that. Right there's the culvert. Get it across. Right into Arbuckle Creek. Okay, that's it for the update.